Hi all. Many years ago, there was a tiny village on a rocky sea coast where storms often battered and seas were ever rough and stormy. Many ships were driven onto the rocks by the storms, and many sailors lost their lives in the raging seas. One day, the people decided among themselves they should do something about this. They should establish a lighthouse and a life saving station on a little peninsula on the coast to warn ships away from the rocks and save the lives of those cast into the icy waters. With a great enthusiasm, they approached the government and began to secure the necessary funds for their project. And soon they set forth and built a tower and set a beacon in it. They were very proud of themselves. They were in the business of saving lives. The effects of what they were doing became known far and wide. Their fame spread. Fewer ships now went on the rocks, and when such a tragedy did occur and the alarm was sounded, the people risked their own lives to rescue those who had been cast into the raging icy waters. As time passed by, one day someone suggested that since they all spent so much time at the lighthouse, they should occasionally gather there and enjoy good fellowship. And soon they began to get together, at first infrequently and then more often at the lighthouse to enjoy and have a good time. Many people began to build their homes near the lighthouse. This way, they justified they were there ready to go out immediately. That if they were going to spend so much time there, they must make the place more comfortable. So arrangements were now made to heat the lighthouse. Beautiful rugs were put on the floors to disguise the bare concrete, and a fine new kitchen was installed with a handsome stove. The lighthouse now became a nice place to spend your time, waiting for the alarm to be sounded and rescue work to begin. One night, a fierce storm blew in. As storms had blown in for years, many ships were tossed on the jagged rocks. The men at the lighthouse spent long hours picking sailors from the bitter cold icy waters and taking them back to the lighthouse, where they were fed and provided with dry clothing. This had happened many times over the years, but this time, after the storm subsided and the sailors had all left the lighthouse, there were some men who were angry, and the men spoke foreign language, and even worse, they were of a different color. After this storm, a few more men joined those who refused to enter the sea. They decided that men like these sailors, they didn't belong to the lighthouse at all. Some said they felt that the lighthouse job was not to save sailors from foreign lands. There were those too who objected to leave comfort of the lighthouse to go out into the storm now. These are the same men who laid the foundation of the lighthouse. These same men now petitioned the government. So finally, it was decided that the beacon would be kept lit, but the rescue work would be discontinued. However, a small group disagreed and went down the coast a short distance and started a new lighthouse. This small group decided that they should establish the biggest life-saving station on the little peninsula, and so they did. Every day they warned ships, sometimes attempt to save lives from the icy water. The fame of the new lighthouse grew, and the lighthouse back up the bay eventually turned out its beacon. From this story, we learn we as a people, we all have a choice. We have a choice to make about our rescue work. We can choose to allow our lives to become comfortable. And we can find ourselves very content, and oftentimes we may find that we have turned out our beacon of hope for one another, or perhaps we continue to be in touch with our mission and purpose. and we will find ourselves lighting and save the path of others both through our words and deeds. If you found this story valuable, please consider subscribing to my channel for more inspiring stories. Thanks for watching. Keep smiling.